be live in a minute.
Right. Yeah.
And we're live.
Great.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. It is August 7th, 2023.
Every time you add a day after August, it's just not good.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm excited because, like,
really? Well, that's true.
Yeah, dude. Like in 40 days, I'll be like right there next to you, Daphne. I'm gonna like totally touch your butt. I won't touch your butt. I'm too scared of Jose. I don't want him to smack my bobblehead.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Yes. That's what he said about somebody else. I forgot who it was.
I'm not going to name names, but I remember.
Yeah, he goes, I'm going to sneak up behind them and smack them in their bobblehead. It's like, oh my goodness.
You ready for this shit?
Absolutely not, but hit it.
Get all the stemming out of my system before we're on camera.
No, I mean, what's stupid is that, you're making the comment about being here, and just to show you how awake I am, so I'm making gestures on camera, and I was like, oh, wait, no, the card is up. Nobody can see me doing this.
I am a star.
So it's like,
yeah.
Because it's like I'm sure it must have gotten strangely silent when you said you're going to touch my butt, but meanwhile I'm like making gestures. Like, no, it's like, what? Yes, no, Nita is not going to touch my butt. But it's like,
well, I mean, not without consent anyway.
Right? No, yeah, that's true. We're all about consent here. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So it's like, in 40 days, we're going to squish you right here somewhere.
Oh, no, we're not. Like, there's no room. I don't I won't fit there.
Right.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this thing.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, so today, welcome everybody to another edition of the Ragin through the Vlogs show. Another special Kickstarter launch edition. This time featuring JD Calderon and the Oswald Chronicles launching on Kickstarter. Actually, he had wanted me to launch the campaign right now. So should I go ahead and just do that? Or should we wait until he actually comes on and then launch when he comes on, which is more dramatic? So for everybody joining us right now, so the Oswald Chronicles, The Light That Attracts, is on Kickstarter pre-launch right now. Although Jose said for me to launch it anyway, so we'll probably do that right now before we get into introductions. So because that's what he said he wanted me to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and hopefully he has everything filled out correctly. And I'm just going to go ahead and launch it so that by the time... Oh, no! There's an error. Oh, no. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Now I have to fix it on here. Oh, no. I hope he didn't do this to all his rewards. What the fuck? Oh, no. Fuck.
Uh-oh.
Fuck. Okay. Jose, if you're listening, you need to go into your campaign and you need to fix the shit that's in there, or I can't launch it. So, oh my goodness. So while he's in the background fixing that,
introductions all around.
Yes, exactly. So who's joining us to this hot mess of a show today?
Patrick. He's the only one that cares.
Yeah, he's the only one. Hello.
Yes,
hello.
I am.
And yes, I see you. My obviously very confused eyeball people right But don't worry, we'll get this. I'm sure he'll fix it really quickly in the background. So by the time we come in, we can finally launch the campaign. But in the meantime, the Oswald Chronicles: The Light That Attracts is on pre-launch right now on Kickstarter. So make sure that you hit the link in the show notes and hit notify me so that Kickstarter actually sends you an email when the campaign goes live. So Jose just has to fix that. So as we speak, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, take it somewhere, Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
Oh, is that the theme of today or what on a Monday? And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales. Thank you so much, everybody who supported the last campaign for Tall Tales. Most of the packages are out right now. Everyone should be getting their rewards. Right now, I have 2 more packages to take out and 1 sketch cover to actually finish. So if you're the one waiting for your sketch cover, it's coming. It's coming. Don't worry. It'll be out before the end of the week, and then this campaign will be completely done. So thank you for your support. And I am currently known for my mature audience's medieval fantasy drama, EGORAVEN, Heir the First Unicorn, which is currently on Kickstarter right now. I'm going to talk a little bit about it after we get introductions in order. Yes, in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at Daphne Lage Art, that's Lage, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. And to tell you more about that, here's Nita.
My name's Nita. We've got like 11 shows on indiecomicsnetwork.com on YouTube. Yeah, it's all about
.com.
Yeah. So let me see. Actually, I'm just going back into Jose's campaign. I'm trying to find out what exactly is wrong with his. Okay, I'm just gonna have to set something here. Did it? Oh, is that it? Was it just that? Let me see. Let me see if I can get it to. Did it correct? Let me see.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Did it fix that? Let me see. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Uh-oh.
Well, no. Actually, hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes, there we go. So, for those of you just joining us, just had a little glitch in the background there. So yes, the Oswald Chronicles: The Light That Attracts is now live. So if you oh no. There's something wrong here. There's something wrong.
Oh shit. Shit.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, I guess we're committed. No. Yeah, I guess we're committed. This was supposed to be a 14-day campaign, and instead he forgot to change it.
I love live streaming.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so again, this is well, you know what? Oh shit. Okay. All right. So this is yeah,
we're doing it. Let's do it.
This is how we're rolling. Okay. Oh no. I don't know. You know what? It's like I'm not really sure. I don't even know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. There was a glitch in it that I could have sworn that said 14 days before I launched it. I could have sworn. But no, it says 49 days. So I don't know. Okay, well, you know what? We're just gonna play this by ear until he comes on, because it's like I could have sworn this fucking said 14 days. But you know what? We're committed
He
now.
canceled it. Nope. He's canceling.
He's canceling. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna. Okay, so we're gonna redo this real quick.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. So, oh snap! What the fuck? You see, aren't you glad? This is why you guys, you guys tune into us.
But comics are easy.
Comics
are
are
fucking easy. Never any problems. Fast money. Fuck.
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. So that's. All right. Well then. So that just goes to show you, yeah, that starting a campaign is not as easy as it may look. We must have done like way too many of these, and yeah, it's little details like that that can get past you, especially since the glitch. All the glitch wanted me to fix was he didn't set his delivery date on one of his levels. So I was looking for the level that didn't have the delivery date. So of course, once I fixed that, then it allowed me to launch, but I didn't see the numbers. I didn't see the other numbers that I was supposed to have been looking at. So yeah, so I guess we'll get right back to you. Because I don't know how that works when it comes to a Kickstarter, because like, yeah, I don't know if you cancel it, if you have to kind of redo the entire campaign again, like you have to build a new campaign, then reset
I don't
it.
know if you have to, but that's the way we've always done it. So
Right,
I'm not sure. But we're going to learn a lesson about Kickstarter today.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So that didn't work out the way we wanted. That didn't work out, but we'll see how that goes.
But the Oswald Chronicles, The Light That Attracts, is coming soon to Kickstarter, and we'll be sure that you guys have that link.
Right. Yeah. You know, so that's how it goes. Hold on. Oh, where was my other thing? Share screen. What was I also doing? Yeah, I was like, okay, so this, so aren't you glad? It's like, maybe, this is why everyone watches Brian K. Morris first.
Brian's got his shit together.
He's got his shit together first, you know. So let me just look at something else here. Oh my goodness, it is Monday. It is Monday.
Always.
You know. Okay, here we go. Here it is. All right. Okay, so give me just a minute.
Ooh.
Here. Right, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, I think so at least we can talk about this while we're here. So I just want to thank everybody who, the 93 people who supported EGORAVEN Air the First Unicorn issue 7 on Kickstarter right now. Thank you so much. $2,187. We're on our way to making 3K. It's been like the first 2 days since launch, and I just want to thank everybody for doing for supporting the campaign so far. As you can see, I've already reached beyond. If you are one of the first 40 physical backers, you are going to get a special mystery bag of goodies put into your order. And as I told you, those 40 slots, they go really, really fast. And This is no exception. So thank you so much to the 93 people who have backed. We have 25 days to go. For those of you who are just seeing this for the first time, EGORAVEN aired the first unicorn. This is for issue 7 out of a 15-issue series. EGORAVEN's luck runs out as the elf Prince Rillian returns in the capital of Varson, and sows the seeds of chaos to force her to return to the kingdom of Edenron and face the dragon lords directly. But the spurned prince doesn't just want to turn the kingdom of men against her, as he sets his eyes on EGORAVEN's companions to exact his revenge. So everything you need on this campaign is here. The prequel is here, which is an illustrated short story. We have PDFs for everything. If this is your first time seeing the campaign, you can pick up all the books from the previous campaigns as well. So you don't miss a thing. You can even pick up all the previous books for Tall Tales if you missed anything. Of course, we have beautiful variant covers if you're into collecting that. And we have everything available as an add-on itself. The other day, I have just put in a create your own level category here, so that if you just want to pick and choose, go completely a la carte with your level, you can do that now with the create your own level. So thank you much. Thank you so much, everybody who supported the campaign so far. So that's what's going on right now. Yeah, like I said, we're having a bit of
Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Rob. We're having a bit of not shit together Monday. We had a glitch with Jose's campaign, so he's in the background trying to fix that.
He said he's leaving. He's going to go work on his next campaign. I told us let us know as soon as he's got his new pre-launch link.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Yeah. So that's it. So that's it. So it was supposed to be. Yeah. It seems like Kickstarter. If you glitch out on a Kickstarter, you have to rebuild the Kickstarter all over again. So. And so it goes. That's how it is. It's like sometimes that happens. It's like, remember, sometimes the best laid plans are not necessarily the best plans to get laid. So, wow. So speaking of campaigns, so there's this, unfortunately, this was something that I had wanted to talk with Jose about, there's been a lot of people talking about, how there's a slowdown on Kickstarter and this, that, and the other thing. Like I said, I wish that Jose was on, because I had wanted to get his opinion on this, but maybe next time.
It's the never-ending song of the people who don't get the amount they want.
Right. Yeah, something like that, right? Oh, wow, Jose wants...
That's a cunt thing to say.
Oh, hold on. Jose wants to come in. Okay. Okay, are we good?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, I could have sworn that shit said 14.
I checked it last night. I set it for 18 days, and I don't know how it happened. So I don't know. Yeah,
right. And then it's like, it glitched because it was telling me that you didn't set your delivery dates on anything.
Right, and I changed all of them to September.
Right.
But that had nothing to do with the end date.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it is? By doing that, it probably adjusted everything 30 days.
Oh yeah, maybe it's like a it goes back to default.
Right. So yeah, it might have defaulted and gone back. That's probably what did it.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Get your shit together, Kickstarter.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's an interesting lesson. I mean, it's something. It's something now we know.
Right. Yeah.
If you change those dates, we should go back and check your end date.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll change on you.
Because it said like 49 days or something.
49 days. I was like, Jesus. I was like, no effing way. I'll do 3 campaigns in that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Daphne's like, we're gonna run with it. I'm like, please, God, no.
No, I was like, you crazy?
Well, I mean, I had to say something until Jose. Yeah, no, that was like, yeah, really, it's. It was.
I will send you to Jesus.
That's what
Right?
Kickstarter
I was
just
like,
did to
oh,
us.
great. Jose
Actually,
Boo did
Kickstarter did
49.
this to us.
Emotional damage.
Yeah.
That's what Kickstarter
Well,
did to us right
I
now.
guess it was a good thing because I had already started on the campaign after this one.
Right.
So that campaign will be the next campaign, and that one will launch. Hopefully, I'll get everything done tonight, and I'll submit it. Hopefully, have it ready by the end of the week, and we'll get like 2 days for pre-launch, and then we can launch on Monday.
Okay. All right, we could do this all over again. Maybe you should just you know what? Maybe you should just launch, and
Or
then
maybe-
we'll talk about the campaign on Monday.
There you go. Maybe I'll do that.
So
Maybe I'll launch
right.
it on my show on Sunday.
Yeah,
and
there
then,
you go. Do that. Yeah, do that because oh my goodness, this was traumatizing.
It was not traumatizing. It's live streaming, Daphne.
That's true. That's true. That's why people watch us.
And plus, that's the whole point, is for us to show people this shit is not easy, and it's not
no,
always
it's
fun.
Not. It's not.
No.
So here's the thing. So I started the thought because I figured, oh my God, we now have to fill up the time ourselves.
Right.
So so there's this there's the whole thing that's been going on for God knows how long. How everyone's been saying, oh, there's a slowdown on Kickstarter and this, that, and the other thing, and people aren't making the money that I guess that they were expecting or anticipating or whatnot. And there seems to be a very strange paradox that I've been seeing. But the thing is, I've been seeing this at conventions too, but now it just seems to be, I don't know whether I'm imagining it or this is just a pattern that's beginning to come up as well. Because, I remember back in the day when we were doing conventions, right? That there was, remember the one person who was saying to somebody next to us, I think this was at one of the Detroit shows. I think it was like one of the Detroit shows where he said, it's like, oh, they're on issue 3. How do I know you're even going to make it past your issue 1? You remember something like that?
Yeah. I remember that. That was a big deal back then. What's funny is with Kickstarter, we now see people getting up to issue like 10, 15, whatever, because that barrier to entry is even lower, or at least the barrier to making cash is lower.
Right.
So people can get in there and make a little bit more money, but it depends where you're at, right? It depends how much money you're making. If you're making $1,000 per campaign, you're probably not going to be like that. If you're making 4,000 or 5,000, maybe you could be somewhere in that area. If you're making 10, 15, 20, obviously those guys, they do they're doing all right for themselves. So it just depends. But there definitely is there's definitely a downturn in some of the funding. But I was talking to Larry last night, Higgins, and he just finished his Naomi campaign. And you look, and it's on IGG. If you missed it, go get it. But if he said he was down 33% from his first campaign.
I mean, that's a big.
That's significant. Oh,
what a kick in the Canadian dick! That has to suck.
Right. So I'm looking at it as like 10 to 15%, maybe 20%.
Right.
But when you hit 33%, that's a big chunk. Right. And he still had what? Over 400 backers, I think.
Right. Yeah. But Now the thing is though, because the thing that I was kind of like getting at is that the paradox where it's like, everybody loves issue 1s, right? Everybody loves issue 1s, but by the time you get to issue 3 or issue 4, all of a sudden there just seems to be that's too much of a commitment. And it's like, I'm just kind of wondering. And then it's like, you have people who put out trades that it's like, for some reason, it's like, well, I don't know anything about that book. How are you going to get me to read a full trade? But then at the same time, you have people who just put out number 1s. And it's like, well, why should I support this campaign? It's just number 1s. You're never going to finish a book. So it just seems like, I don't know, either the audience is schizophrenic or nobody knows what they want, or it's just a lot of excuses going around.
Well, I don't think the audience is so much schizophrenic as much as it's just fractured, right? Because you have people who just like to collect number 1s, right? You have people who actually like to read the books, right? And then you have people who just collect stuff, but understand that, they're like the number 1 guys, where, they know beyond number 1 what's left, as far as collectability is concerned. And then, you know, it's also a mentality that was been built into retailers, and we all take that away from us, even going into Kickstarter. Right? So the retailers love the number ones.
Right. Because you had mentioned something the other day about some retailers saying that, oh, the only reason that one of the main things that DC and Marvel did, you know, and kind of like fracturing the audience is that there's no longevity in the I guess like in their storylines and their characters, like they're always rebooting. So what happens is that they alienate legacy customers and then they confuse new customers because it kind of has nothing to do with nothing. Like it's kind of like, okay, you're rebranding everything for no reason, to kind of like to make this push that never comes. And that's kind of the thing where it's like, okay, you know, how important is longevity? Like is someone who's doing Kickstarter, a small publisher, are they better off like slowing down and concentrating on maybe like one or two properties and finishing those properties, rather than trying to kind of like throw shit on the wall and see if they have the next Walking Dead?
Let me create as many IPs as I can and pray for that Netflix deal.
I think it's better, personally speaking, I think it's better to focus, right? Get some stuff done, focus, get a few trades out, and get some stories completed. You know, I see a lot of people who they go out there, they create a lot of different titles or whatever, and, you know, nothing's done. You know, you got issue 1 and 2 of this one, issue 3 and 4 of that one, issue 4 and 6 of that one. It's like, what are you doing, man? You know, right? So who's really interested in any of this stuff? Put out a trade, get it out there, build some excitement on the trade, and then just move on. Then you can start creating other things. Right. But at least give us a completed story at some point. Right. You know, nobody picks up a novel, right? And I mean, yeah, there are novels that are 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts. But so long as, you know, the author is committed to completing, right, you're going to get that. And in a lot of cases, a lot of novels are just standalones. So you're not going to get like, you know, a non-standalone, you know, usually it's a one shot. So you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, I think it's very important to complete. I mean, what's the point if you're not going to? I mean, Dave Sim spent 300 issues and he got it done. Right? What is it? God, I always forget it. Fred Perry. They're doing a 301st issue of Gold Digger to wrap up the series. You know, he did issue 300, that was the end, but now he's doing 301 to finish up, I guess, all the subplots. So he's trying to tie up all the subplots. So that'll get done. So, you know, he's trying to tie it up all in a nice neat bow for his fans. And, you know, that's cool. Took him 301 issues to get there. Right, yeah. You know, but he completed, you know. And he's done a lot of other stuff on the side. I mean, a lot of other stuff. Yeah. So it's not like, you know, it's not like that's the only thing he did. So you can do other things. There's a reason
why he doesn't have an online presence. I don't think that he would have been able to do as much work as he did if he had an online presence. Yeah. You know, so that's, you know, so that's kind of like the ironic thing where it's like, you know, yeah, it's like a lot of people are like, oh, I have this idea, this idea, this idea, this idea. And, you know, yeah, and Kickstarter makes it really easy to, you know, to put out these books. You know, the bar, I mean, there is no, as much as people want to pretend that there's no gatekeeping. Nobody is stopping anybody from putting up a project on Kickstarter. But the thing is, though, it's like, I think it's safe to say that it is a detriment to kind of just like keep doing that, you know, to, I guess, because I think there comes a point where it's like, I would think that if your audience sees that you're the type who's just going to put out all these fractured ideas and not get anywhere, that even when you finally do come up with an idea that you want to stay with it long term, you've already alienated your audience. I mean, would you think that that's fair to say?
Well, yeah. Well, you either alienated them or, in just in the same breath, you just say you made them indifferent to you. Because what's going to happen is they're gonna look at you and they're gonna say, well, this person never completes, right? It says I have 2 issues or 3 issues of this book. Where's the rest of it? Where's the ending? right? And people want to see those endings to some degree. They want to see some type of closure. You know, even if you have an overarching story,
right?
You know, you're gonna have stories within that story, so you're gonna have some type of closure. So they're gonna want to see that, not just you know, not just you know, just be floating in the air forever.
Right.
You know, listen, I mean, a lot of people love Chris Claremont, did a lot of great work over the X-Men back in the day. One of the reasons I gave up on the X-Men was because of all of the subplots that he wasn't completing. He would bring them out and it was like, oh great, this is gonna happen, and then you never hear from it ever again. And it's just like, what the hell was that all about? Right? So that sort of thing's annoying.
Right. So we're not even talking about like creating different IPs, that even if you're doing something long term, know your ending.
Right. Know where you're going.
Right. Yeah. Because because it's like, for something as, as long going as Oswald, I mean, was this something that you were concerned about, or did you structure Oswald in a way where it's like you could do so many stories and know and avoid meandering?
Right. Well, originally, I mean, look, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's like I started the series as a series of short stories, right? And it was originally prose, and it was all supposed to be singular, so you could get the one prose short and read it, and it would just be a short all on its own. You didn't have to read anything else. You could just read the one and go on about your business. But then when I started doing it as comic books, comic books take up a little bit more space. But the trades tend to be, well, the first one is 2 volumes. The next one is 1, and for the most part, for the most of the future ones, it's just going to be 1 volume, and in each volume has 1 story. The other problem is that it's built up into a much larger narrative. So I'm working on, I've already worked on putting it all together, and I've done that portion of it. So yeah, so now you can just go ahead and flow through it, so long as you have my checklist,
right?
Which I provide with every order on Kickstarter. I give everybody a checklist, so they know in what order to read them in.
Right.
So yeah, so it's not really something I concerned myself with. I knew I would get around to everything at some point, so long as
So yeah. So doing the amount of work that you do, the almost infamous amount of work that you do, I think at one point you said that you could stop paying people now for artwork and you still have enough content for 15 campaigns.
Right. Yeah.
What? Let's see. Yeah, it's oh. My question, I guess, kind of disappeared. I'm kind of wondering. There's a whole bunch of things I was trying to keep straight in my head. So when you're doing, so you have the people who I guess like to collect the individual issues, but then it's like you have the trades, and there's some people out there who just go straight to trade. They don't even try to do individual issues. I mean, if with the amount of work that you had, if you kind of had to do it over, would there be like a different way you would have done it between the individual issues and the trades?
Well, I mean, it boils down to finances, right? Because I do the single issues to help finance the trades, because it's very expensive. I haven't used the term in a while, but it's like taking bites from an apple, right? I have to get as many bites out of that apple as I can get, and that's really all it is. I have to produce it as a black and white comic, and then eventually put it out as a trade. Eventually, hopefully, be able to put it out as a color comic, and then eventually, hopefully, be able to put it out as a color trade.
Right.
So, and we're just marching along in that direction. So.
I mean, is that something that, as a strategy, do you recommend that it's like, if like there are people who just like, oh, I just want to do the full trade, and it's like, well, technically you'll make more money if you break that up into individual issues. I mean, is that kind of true? Is that like a strategy that you would recommend for people on a Kickstarter?
Yeah, I definitely would. In anything, if you're going through the direct market, is the way to go. It's they call the regular comic books or floppies loss leads, and they don't call them that for a reason. You put it out there, so hopefully you can recoup at least your base costs on those, and then when you do the trade, that's where you're going to make your money.
Right.
And that's basically what it is.
And also a trade is long-term money. Because then that's something that's more likely, that's kind of like, it's more of an evergreen product. Rather than a floppy. A floppy, I guess, eventually. I mean, I guess like what you eventually discontinue the floppies after a while, I would think.
Correct.
And it's like you're just doing, and then you just build the collection from trades.
Right. Yeah. So it's basically just, you know, like I said, with my floppies, what I'm doing is all of them are limited editions and stuff that I'm releasing through Kickstarter. So like when you get them, they're signed and they're numbered, right? The only very specific ones that aren't, right? Like I have a one shot that I put out, and that one is just an unlimited run. There's no numbering on it. I sign it, but there's no numbering on it. That one I'll just produce as many as I want. But the other books, they're signed numbered. So usually it's 250 if they're the alternative covers, then maybe they're 500. And then once I'm run through those runs, that's it. I don't produce anymore.
Right. In
that format. So you may see them again, but you may see them with different trade dress. You may see them in color. You may see them in, you know, as a trade paperback, so on and so forth. Right. But in that particular format, that's the only way that's going to be.
Right. I mean, in all these campaigns that you've done, I'm pretty sure I've asked this question before, but I don't remember the answer. So, I mean, in all these campaigns that you've done, if you looking back on them, if you were to start all over again, would there have been anything different you would have done strategy-wise with how you release your books?
That's a good question. I mean, you know, yeah, I probably would have cut down from 30 days to like 18 days a lot sooner. That's probably the only thing. Right. I would have done more campaigns between here and then. That's
Nita's rolling her eyes at you.
I see the absolute disapproval in her face when I say that, but you know.
But the irony of it is that, do you think that the reason why you're able to do short campaigns, provided a Kickstarter doesn't glitch out on you, that you're able to do shorter campaigns now because you did build up everyone from 30-day campaigns? Or do you think that if you had just trained everybody from the beginning, it would have been the same?
Well, I mean, you know, everybody still complains about the dead zone. You know, the dead zone is a real thing. You know, we have that week or 2 week period where it's just like we're all sitting there languishing, you know, like we're like sitting there going, please let me get a backer today. I need that dopamine hit, right? And, you know, and sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. And sometimes, you know, I've had campaigns where I had backers every day. And usually that's my goal in the dead zone, is at least get one backer a day, right? So you're constantly hammering, but you know, you got to figure, like, you know, you could put that, if you cut it down to 21 days, do you really think you're making any more money? Because the thing is what I've noticed is that, am I making more money in 30 days as opposed to 21 days or you know, soon to be 18 days?
Right.
I don't really see that big of a shift, right? Now, I've spoken to Timothy B. Fling, where he says it did make a difference for him, extending it to 34 days. So he did make more money. Right.
Yeah.
But then
I am
again,
a huge proponent of a minimum of 4 pay periods from announcement to the end. Like, seriously. Because I've seen it with people where they want to back you, but this week it's just not there. And so I really like having at least 3 Thursdays or Fridays, depending on when they get paid, in there.
I get that. But one of the things that Tim is doing that's a little different is he's doing TikTok videos, which I find very interesting. And he's going on different platforms to advertise his books. So I don't know if that's having an effect on his campaign, right? Whereas, you know, if he was still doing those, you know, working through those platforms and cut it down to 21 days, would he still have the same effect? Right.
So are we going to be seeing JD on TikTok anytime soon?
No, I'd probably start an OnlyFans before that.
Oh my goodness. You know, I mean, so I mean, I guess it's like, so I guess you could say that even though you study a lot of these other campaigns and what they're doing, there comes a point where it's like there are things that they're doing that you just won't do. Even if you think it's working for them. That it's like,
right,
you know,
but
you're not gonna be making TikTok videos about the comic anytime soon.
probably not, because the
Pretty
thing
sure
is
Tim is not doing TikTok dances.
no, he's not.
No, he's
doing-
actually, but
doing-
he's actually he took a very clever approach in promotion, and it's
he's
working for him.
doing right. He's doing, you know, what he's doing. He's like reviewing books and putting out short videos. He's doing the part that we're doing, and he's getting a bigger audience. The only problem is I don't like the terms of service on TikTok. If you would go read through their terms of service,
Yeah,
it's fucking weird and creepy.
It is.
Right? You understand? They have the right to go through your systems.
Right.
Right? I mean, you know, sometimes you have to actually pay attention to these things. But
Yeah.
it's like, you know, a lot of, I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything nefarious, like, but still though.
But I'm
it's
saying
like,
the
But
Chinese
still, it's
scrape your data like everybody else.
this is true. That's why I'm constantly lagging anyway. They're just, you know, constantly just swiping whatever I got on my system. So.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh my, well, yeah, that's true. I mean, it's like, there's some technology that's kind of not worth adopting, I guess.
Well, until they change their terms of service, that's really the only thing. Is like change the terms of service so that, you know, it's less weird, and then
Right.
we can all just have fun.
Yeah. You know, but yeah, so it's like, okay, so you would recommend now what so the people who want to do trades, it's like, so you would recommend them doing individual issues and build up to the trade as opposed to just going straight to the trade. Also, I think that this would probably help with people taking a very long time to deliver on their books, because it's like if they did like individual issues, they could have stuff out sooner.
That's not going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, I don't think. I think those individuals who have issues delivering on time just have issues delivering on time. I think that's time management issues, and it's just management of that section of your business.
Right.
I think that's just those people don't have those things locked down.
Right.
You know, we've had this conversation about professionalism and what does it mean in a business. And the thing is, you know, we label certain artists, oh, this person's a professional because they worked at Marvel or DC or a company XYZ. Okay, they might be a professional level artist. It doesn't mean they're a professional. Okay, it doesn't mean they're a professional publisher, right? So they can do the artwork incredibly and it'll look superb on the page, but that doesn't mean they're going to be able to fulfill on time. It doesn't mean they're going to be able to campaign correctly. It doesn't mean they're going to be able to do all these other things. So just because you label them a professional doesn't mean they actually are. They might be a professional in a certain aspect of the business, but not all aspects of the business. Yes, you know, this business has, you know, the spectrum is huge. So you have to cover, you wear, like, as Jay likes to say, you have to wear a lot of hats or have a lot of spinning plates in the air, whatever, right? So, you know, not everybody has all those things under control. So I feel if a person has issues delivering on time, they're always going to have those issues because those issues are them. Right. Those issues are them. It has nothing to do with, you know, with whether or not they're breaking it up or whatever. You know, they just have issues on their own.
Right. And
self-reflect, people. Self-reflect.
Yeah, that seems to be something that a lot of people like kind of like they think that, you see, that's the funny
I don't
thing.
want my book 3 years from now.
Yeah, you know. There are
You
people
can keep it.
that they come on Kickstarter, you know, and again, it's very easy to do, and they think that just by putting a book on Kickstarter or having an IP or something makes them a business person, when that's kind of not.
Well,
they got an LLC behind their name now, Daphne.
Right, it does make them a business person. It just, you know, now whether or not you're a good one or a bad one,
shitty business people.
Right, exactly. That's the difference. You know, are they a good business person or a bad business person? It's just
Right.
But they're still in business.
Right.
You know, now the question is how long?
Right. Yeah, there was an article that I read a while ago. I mean, it almost sounds unrelated, but where Disney was asked, their lawyers were asked, why is it they don't go after all these people on Etsy making like bootleg Disney products? And their lawyers had said that's like, we don't have to. Usually they never last more than 5 years. So all we have to do is just wait them out. I mean, the
They
people
pull
that
themselves.
the people who actually go after are the ones who persevere. So, but the thing is, though, is that, thinking back on our very long career in this, it's like, it's kind of the same thing here too. It's like a lot of people, it's like they come in and it's like, they're lucky if they last 5 years. I mean, do you think that that's did Kickstarter make it easier for people to last longer, even though they shouldn't have? But
no, Indiegogo did that. Just saying.
I don't know. I think I think those people who have the intestinal fortitude to stick around will always stick around. The problem, because here's the thing, the siren song of comics is weird, right? Once you get into it and you publish your first book, you're always looking for that next rush of a book, right? And that's constantly happening. It happens to me. It happens to everybody, right? You constantly want to see the next book, the next book, the next book, right? So, I mean, I've seen people leave for 10 years. You know what I'm talking about? Like, guys just gone for like 10 years. They come back. They're like, yo, I want to get back in.
Right.
And they're like, and we're like, dude, there's no money. I don't care.
Right.
I just want to get back in. I'm like,
we still broke.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, dude, I was like, I'm still working the day job. They're like, oh, I don't care.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, and I mean, people just like to create. It gives them some meaning, purpose.
Right. Yeah.
So you go forward and you do what you do.
Right. So because I'm still kind of in awe with the stat that Kickstarter had put out at San Diego, for San Diego Comic-Con, that just 6 months of the first 6 months of 2023, 1,666 comic books. Were I guess were kickstarted pretty much.
We're funded, right?
Well, I don't know if they were all funded. They just said they were. I don't remember if they said they were funded or they were
launched
or just launched on Kickstarter, like over like close to 1,700 books in 6 months.
But they say the success rate is what, 70%?
Yeah, it actually went up. Yeah, it's about 75% now.
75%. So you're still looking at like over 1,000 books, maybe 1,200 books that succeeded.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of books. But what's funny is that it's like, it just, I don't know, it just never feels like I don't know, like we scroll through Kickstarter and it's like, we see a lot of books, but at the simultaneously, it doesn't feel like a lot of books. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know, that I guess just comics has just become like we're the fish in the water. The fish never considers the water. So it's like, we never really consider how many comics are out there. And every time we go to conventions, like, one of the, it's like, so I'll be at, you might be at Baltimore Comic-Con as well for the weekend, it seems, if we can strategize enough. And it's just like kind of like, oh, like how many people are going to be at Baltimore that they're not even on Kickstarter. We haven't even heard of them. Like there's always is there going to be like as many new people that we see at conventions that we used to in the past? Like there was at least always one person putting out their first comic at a Comic-Con. Or does everybody just go straight to Kickstarter now? Like, do you think? I mean, that's a lot of books. I don't know. It's like I'm just still in awe by that number.
I mean, it is an impressive number, but I'm like, as long as you're not buying them all,
right? Yeah. That's for sure. I mean, like, how is that even possible? It's like
you'd have to have a lot of time and a lot of money,
right?
Like, there's probably some. I would love to meet
right
the billionaire or multimillionaire who's just, just get me one of everything.
Right. Well, here's the question that Kickstarter didn't answer, because it's like it's easy to say who failed and who funded, but what percentage of those 1,700 books in that 6 months actually fulfilled?
Well, but even then, that comics does have a high rate of return. Like they have a high rate of people actually fulfilling.
Mhm.
So I mean, I don't know what the rate was, but I know it was very, very high.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, we have those people who don't fulfill,
Right.
but I think we have way more, and then it's actually much higher than I think than any other sector.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I think so
Yeah.
too.
So I mean, I think in that part, if people back books, you pretty much. I mean, I don't want to say you're guaranteed. I mean, if you buy an Oswald Chronicle book, you're guaranteed to get your book. But if you're, for a lot of these other books that you can't say. But for the most part, if it's like 80-90%, you have a good chance you're going to get your stuff.
Right.
So.
It just depends on what your tolerance is for how long you wait for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, over the
I don't
past
care.
3 years on Kickstarter, I'll say that I backed over 300 freaking campaigns. Out of those 300 campaigns, only one did not fulfill, and only one was unreasonably late.
Well, that's the thing, though, because it's like I think because I know that Jose constantly says that he doesn't care. It's like
I forget.
I do.
I forget about it.
I don't,
I forget.
motherfucker. I like my money. I'm broke and with 4 kids. If I'm fucking investing in you and your dream, bitch, your dream needs to come to reality in my doorstep.
No, I forget about them shits. I get the packages. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh, this is this person.
Yeah, Jose embodies the idea.
However, on Indiegogo, I've backed 20 campaigns and have received 3. One of those being an Oswald Chronicles because I missed it on Kickstarter. Just saying.
Yeah, those guys over there have issues. I don't know what those are, but those guys definitely have issues. I mean, like I said, it has nothing to do with the platform. It has nothing to do with how much money you raise. It has nothing to do with any of that stuff. It has everything to do with the fact that those people are disorganized and they don't know what they're doing. Right?
Or they know exactly what they're doing.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna say they're ripping, like,
there's a lot of cash grabbing on some of these,
Right. I'm gonna go with the stance that they're not being dishonest and they're not trying to rip people off. I'm gonna go as the fact that maybe they're trying to fulfill, like that their intention is to do that, right?
Oh, look at you being the voice of reason.
Right. You could be cynical all you want on your own, either. But I get what you're saying though, because there are shitty people in the world, right? That they're gonna just steal your money and that's what it is. I've had a couple of those alleged professionals who have yet to fulfill. I had one alleged professional come back after 10 years and say, oh yeah, I'm going to give everybody back their money. I've yet to see my money refunded back to me. Right? I got another professional that I know personally, right? Who's late, 6-7 years now?
Something like that, yeah.
Right?
Jeez.
And they've yet to fulfill.
We personally know him.
Yeah, we personally know this person, and it's like he says he'll refund your money, and I'm sure he would, but I'm like, I'd rather have my book.
Right. Why is refunding the money easier for you than just doing your book?
Right. Because I know at this point we're never going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I'm concerned, like I said, call yourself a professional all you want. You're not a professional in my eyes. You're an amateur at best.
Right.
You're maybe a good illustrator. You're a fine artist, but that has nothing to do with the other. You're still not a pro.
Right.
You're not able to meet your commitments.
Yeah. Because I was on a show recently where the host had said that it's like that his criteria for a successful campaign is not somebody who funds, but somebody who fulfills.
That's
and
it.
He was saying that because I had my book ready and proofed and everything before the campaign even started, he goes, you've already succeeded and you haven't even launched your campaign yet, just because of that. And it's
Which
like
shouldn't be a selling point, but it is.
Yeah, you see, because that's the thing. I mean, I know that we've spoken about this, which leads to the whole, well, if you go into Kickstarter expecting everybody to be a professional in that sense, you're going to be highly disappointed. And it's just kind of weird to really think about it that way. That delivering a book on time shouldn't be a selling point, but it is, because 90% of the people, they're professionals in everywhere else in their lives except for fulfilling Kickstarters.
Right. Well, and listen, you're being very generous by saying they're professionals everywhere else in their lives.
Right.
You know, there might be a sector in their life.
Oh, but I'm cynical.
Right. I was about to say.
Well, you know, I have doubts about everyone. What do you want?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you probably talk to more people than we do.
Oh, I don't. Well, yeah.
You know.
I'm sure. On a daily basis, yeah.
Uh-huh. You know, what do you think is the, you know, and with all the people that you interview, I mean, certainly a lot more than us right now. You know, what do you think is like the one, I don't want to say it's a mistake, but maybe like a misconception that people come in to doing comics / Kickstarter that tends to like blow up in their face just as quickly? Oh, Robert says there are those cases where things happen out of your hands, like book pages coming from the printer sticking together, and then the printer drags their feet.
Absolutely, there are. And that is why
Mhm.
reputation matters. Because see, you can have an incident like this happen, Rob, and I'm gonna still jump on your next campaign as soon as you go live.
Right, like that. I understand, but you know, going back to the question before I forget it, it's like what's the main misconception that you keep coming across that you're like, oh yeah, no, you shouldn't really. You're only going to hurt yourself that way.
Listen, convention math is a real thing, right?
So
you know, that's a real thing. Like, so, and I think it boils down to Kickstarter as well. You have people coming in and they're saying, well, you know, I just need X amount to do X, right? And then they get Y and they're like, what the hell happened?
Right.
Why did I only get this instead of this? And why is this other person? I did all the things this other person did, right? Except have all the artists and the art and the 20 years in the business and all that stuff. Yeah. But I did everything they did and I didn't get
the same
my
result.
X result. Right. I didn't get the same result.
Yeah, they tend to skip a lot of steps, don't they?
Right. Sometimes you don't realize it's like sometimes it's just the fact that that other person was in it for 20 years.
Right.
Right. And they built up that you know, that notoriety through that. Sometimes it's they just have a massive mailing list that they could have gone for, like look at Eric July, right? He has huge YouTube channel, built it up over years, had nothing, you know, I mean, he would review comics, but really wasn't so much a creator, right? But he came in, he activated his audience, to use that lovely word, and he made what, you know, $3 million or whatever it was. I mean, he made $1 kajillion on his damn book. You know, good for him.
Right.
Right. So yeah, so it just depends where you're coming from.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, Keanu Reeves funded his book. Good morning, Grant. Keanu Reeves funded his book, right? Berserker for what, $2 million?
Yeah.
On what? On the fact that he's Keanu Reeves.
God forbid, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, it's like, and the fact that people like look at that like that's a real thing to aspire to.
Right.
It's very strange. Like I don't know that I think that we were talking about delusions on last month. We were talking about that.
We are in comics.
Yeah, we are in comics, and you know, and I'm trying to use the word delusion is not in a negative sense. That oh, everyone's being delusional about what they're producing, but it's just the fact that we do get wrapped. We do have a tendency to get wrapped up in a fantasy version of what we're doing, rather than, like you said, kind of like self-reflecting and actually looking at what we're actually doing. You know, it's like, you know, dreaming is nice, but reality is where everything happens. You know,
right.
And it's like, it is just kind of so would you say that that's kind of what's happening? Like that's the mistake people are making, that they go into an endeavor with the fantasy version of what they're doing in their head rather than actually critically looking at what they're doing. You know, like
Well, yeah, I think the biggest issue that happens is that we all get into this business thinking about it's going to be rainbows and sunshines. We're going to make our comics. We're going to write about whatever fantasy thing we're going to write about, whatever iteration of fantasy you're looking at, whether it be superhero comics or like sword and sorcery or like, you know, some deep dark horror or whatever. And you don't think about the fact that it's a business, right? You don't think about the fact that, you know, you're gonna have to get you know, if you're not an artist, you're gonna have to hire one. Then maybe you're gonna have to hire a colorist.
Right.
Maybe you're gonna have to hire a letterer.
Mhm.
And then even if you do some of those things yourself, then you're like, okay, do I need a Cintiq? Do I have Photoshop? And do I know how to letter? So now I have to put in that time sink into learning how to letter. You know, what fonts am I going to get? Because you're not just going to use what a Comic Sans, right? You're not just going to go out there and use that.
Whiz Bang doesn't
right?
cut
Whiz
it.
Bang.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to go out there. You got to get your correct fonts, right? You got to know word placement, balloon placement, all that stuff. So, you know, there are different levels and different things you got to go through.
Mhm.
You know, going back to something we were talking about a little bit earlier, though, is one of the things, like I was on a podcast with somebody yesterday, and there are different groups, right? Like that do different things. Like the stuff we do is single issues, comics, and we're just looking to do our own thing, very insular in what we do. Like I'm doing the Oswald Chronicles, you're doing your book, EGORAVEN, and there are other people like Rob who does, you know, his books. So very insular. And then you have another group of people where it seems like they do a lot of anthologies, right? And you have a very like there's just this group that's what they do. They do a lot of anthologies, and they're trying to move up. They want to be in like the bigger companies. They want to be in Scout and Boom and all these other companies, and they want to, I guess, move up in the business. And I just find that part of it fascinating because I met a couple guys I never heard of. I was like, who the hell are you? Right? You sit there and goes, who are you? They're like, oh, well, I did this, and this. I was like, oh, okay. And then they're like, they ask me, who are you? And I tell them I did this and this. They're like, oh, okay, because they don't know who the hell I am either.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's funny that, you know, that we're not hitting that cross section. Right. That there's still plenty of space to learn and meet people, and that just tells me that there are more fans out there that we can also hit on. Right. That we can find and help find our product as well.
Mhm.
You know. So yeah, I think there's hope. I think there's hope.
Yeah, because it's like the audience has to be there, or else people wouldn't. There wouldn't be 1,700 books being produced in 6 months if the audience wasn't there to support it. It's just that, you know, we all have. What was it that someone had said the other day? The riches are in the niches. Yeah, I forgot what the context was. And it's like, yeah, it's finding your niche and focusing on that. Because it's like that's the dedicated audience that'll push you over the edge, as opposed to, I guess, like trying to come up with brand new issue ones of a new IP like every 3 weeks, because it's like, oh well, this didn't work, so let me try this one, and this didn't work. Well, if you're not finishing anything, you don't know what's going to work.
Right. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, look, I hate to put it like this, but that's totally in the realm of a hack, right? You know, hack creators, hack writers. These are guys that like, let's throw the shit on the wall. Let's see what sticks. Right. It's not a thing about like these people are not artists. They're just looking for something that's going to work for them, that they're going to be able to put out and make a living on it. I'm like, bro, go sell shoes, go be a barista, go to Wall Street, you know, go sell a house, do something else. Do something else. You understand? Try to take this as the art form that it is. And some people, you know, they don't want to do that. They just want to try to make it here, which is fine. You understand? But, you know, don't sit there and tell me you're making art, because you're not. Right. You're making product. If you're making product, you're making product. But, I understand that you will only get a limited amount of success from me. Right. You know, as far as that's concerned, you know, because I'm gonna treat you the way I feel you're gonna need to be treated. And it's like, if you're making a widget, it's a widget. Right. Right. The it's widget, not really a book.
Your widget just happens to be a comic book, but it's no less a widget.
Right. Because there are plenty of books out there that are being produced by people who are funding very large amounts, who just make not very good comics. And I know, because I bought some of them. You know, I bought one very specifically. you know, and these are people that work at Image, you know. So it's like, you know, you look at some of this stuff and it's like you read some of this stuff and it's not very good.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to mention it.
Well, of course not. Yeah. We don't need to. It's like you know what? Everybody has that list of books where it's like, what that like you expected better because of a certain reputation. And you're like, wait, what happened?
Right.
What is this?
Yeah.
Right. Because it's one thing to see a book and say, this isn't my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Where that's different.
Right.
Whereas opposed to being like, you're looking at a book and like, this is just not good.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
It's not well written. It's not well illustrated. Right. It's just like, there's just nothing here.
But it's got a pretty cover.
Well, he's got a pretty 19 covers.
Yeah.
You know, the 19 covers on it, and you know, oh yeah, those look great. But you know, you didn't spend any of your money on the interiors.
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, thank you so much, JD, Jose.
yes. You're welcome. Thank you, Daphne. Thank you, Nita.
Show. We're just hitting, we're just a little bit past the hour. And
hey, I want him to tell us about something real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Run this down real fast.
Oh,
Magi's Grace. Yes. What happens when you have? Why am I doing this? Where's C? Michael Lanning is the artist on this.
Well, C's at work, which I know that you have to be at soon. So
yes. That's my partner in crime. So yes, this is what happens when you have cryptids going to war with mythical creatures. You call in Magi and his partner Grace to settle the issues. That's what they do.
Monster Hunters for Hire.
Yes, Monster Hunters for Hire.
Right.
With some incredibly sexy covers, by the way.
Yes, with some very sexy covers.
That which is also on pre-launch. Hopefully, now after this, it's like, look, you know what? We can definitely
don't fuck this one up.
Yeah.
No.
Definitely name this show when your Kickstarter goes wrong. You know, look, after 30-something Kickstarters, the fact that we finally had one that completely glitched out on us, you know, it was bound to happen, you know, but it'll make us definitely double check anything else afterwards. That's for sure.
Yeah. Statistically, you know, it had to happen at some point.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes. So at least today, everybody gets to learn what happens when a Kickstarter goes horribly wrong and you have to start all over again. Well, in Jose's case, just make sure you have the next 5 Kickstarters ready to go.
Right.
Exactly. So, I mean, listen, it wasn't, the only thing was that I had to change the month from August to September because I had planned to launch this last month.
Right.
But, you know, we had a little delay with it wasn't a big delay. We were delayed by a week from the printer. So that did that. And I just had to change it to September. And obviously what it did was when I changed those things, it moved my date another 30 days. And I didn't look at that because I didn't think it would do that. So
I didn't think of that either. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, okay. So, you know, there's something to look at for the next time.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, why don't you tell the peoples where they can find you?
Oh, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those things. Look on the JD Calderon. You can find me at theoswaldchronicles.com, talltalesonline.com, and almost every Sunday night. I like to take a day off every now and again. Right. 7:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, right here on the Ragin Network. You can find Talking on a Sunday Night or Indie Comics Explained or something like that. Don't mind me. I'm not caffeinated, so I'm tired.
Yeah.
So
that's what his shows are.
Exactly.
Talking comics on a Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Sunday nights on IndieComicsNetwork.com. Okay, yeah, there we go.
There you go. Go to that place. You can see me rag on JD Rosario.
Right. For your entertainment value. Right.
Exactly.
Any final words, Nita?
I'm out of words.
Yeah, me too.
I'm out of words.
Me too, which is usually why I work off.
My morning started with cumin in my coffee. I knew it was going to be a shit day.
Well,
shit day all around.
Well, you know, at least you can make another cup of coffee. Yeah. And if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and everything, well, in the meantime, thank you everybody for joining us in the chat. Thank you, my beautiful eyeball people, for lasting longer than this campaign today. You know, Jesus, you know, I mean, shit happens. That's all it is. And if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and my upcoming campaigns and my current campaign, EGORAVEN, Heir the First Unicorn, issue 7, which is on Kickstarter right now. Links are in the show notes below. You're going to head on over to my main portfolio site, egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches, current work in progress, and live updates of whatever is going on at the moment. And remember that you can find me also here on YouTube at my channel, Daphne Lage, Lage Art, about every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, where I run my own drawing live stream. You know, usually it's about every other Wednesday, but definitely Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. Also, you can read EGORAVEN, Heir the First Unicorn, for free if you want to if you need a little bit more time to make a decision on whether you want to support the campaign or not. It uploads every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, also written by J.D. Calderon as well, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears in the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this very train wreck Monday morning. But hey, you know what? We all learned something from it today. So at least, you know, at least we got something out of it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And we'll see you next time.